some of them have been really educated, but then they're just hanging around the streets waiting for something to do. So we have the theoretical knowledge, but we don't have the practical part of how we can use that knowledge. And that's why we end up thinking to be employed in high offices, whereas there's a lot of groundwork we can do. So the poverty levels for people, instead of going high, it will go down because even having acquired the knowledge to something, they don't have the practical part to do it, and then they will remain in abject poverty just waiting for something to do.
So quick question again, Bessie. Should your family background drag you back?
That's what I said. So like partly it could be family background, but you can still do something about the family background because like from my experience, I really didn't come from a very rich family. But because I had something that I realized that if all people in the world keep complaining about poverty, and how can we tackle it, with the theoretical knowledge I had got in school, I tried to do something for myself just so that I come out of the abject poverty. But then for people who have not been exposed to any family background which is keeping them down, they probably lack any practical knowledge and want to do something to improve themselves, and that's why they're always just there hanging around waiting for something to do. That's from my experience.
Thank you very much, Bessie. Omar, you are with Uganda. How profitable is coffee?
I would say, general term, coffee is profitable. Where you put 5,000, you can have profits of 15,000. And I can tell you I'm doing that right now.
In approximation, is there a good number of young people dealing in coffee?
I would say no. The first thing is coffee is farming. Though the whole value chain doesn't involve someone finding a hole, but whenever a youth hears about coffee, the brain will go into handling a hole to go and maybe plow a garden of coffee. But you can choose a specific step of a value chain of coffee. Maybe you can be a barista, a coffee barista. But youth fear farming. And when you talk about any crop, someone will say, I can't do farming. But particularly for Uganda, I would say, and for particularly also coffee, people think coffee is for old people. When I was starting my first acre of coffee, I told a colleague within town here that I'm going to plant coffee. I got some seedlings from the government, so I'm going to plant coffee. Then the guy said, are you running mad or what? Are you going crazy? Coffee is for old people. Why? Go and grow maybe granules or cabbage or but coffee? He looked at me and he didn't see any sense in me. But I'm telling you it is profitable. It's a matter of doing it. Yeah. Let's say if you can't go into the production itself, you can treat the coffee nursery business. Where you can't take away your youth, can't take away your age, but you do your other things and you can do still run the nursery bed. Just like that.
That sounds great, Omar. Geoffrey, why do you think the young people in Uganda or in Africa or all over the world do not really want to engage in agriculture? Why?
I want to first of all appreciate you for that question, because I remember last year in January, my mom asked me almost the same question when she asked me why I am still insisting, asking her where I can plant my tomatoes and onions, yet I have my pepper in the house. So I told her that in Africa today, especially Uganda, it is not a Uganda that you used to know, that when you go to school, you only come out with your paper and tomorrow the companies, you start getting calls from companies. But I must say, most youth fear to invest in agriculture. There are very many reasons. One of them believe that this is still old man's work for someone who didn't go to school. Yet they have not really sat down maybe study what outcomes come from agribusiness, which today is coming to be one of the good sectors to invest. Then the other reason, I think, youth also like shortcuts to getting rich. I remember now there are these things of betting. Youth are majorly involved in issues of betting. Personally, I also bet, but don't take it as a profession. We mostly want shortcuts to getting money, yet we don't want to, I can say we are lazy to work towards our success. Then the other thing I still have, I will also go to the education system that we have here in Uganda. In Uganda, majorly we go and get theoretical knowledge from school, and when we come out, we majorly want to get jobs. I think there's still a lot that government can do in the education system so that we are able to understand the kind of education that we are trying to attain. There are very many issues I think I can give other people opportunities to.
So Dee, you have worked with young people a couple of times through your discussion before. Do you think our governments or the people we live with have encouraged us enough to get involved in agriculture if we say agriculture is rudimentary or respect for the old people, and what should be done?
Yes, I think I agree with both of you in terms of agricultural sector in Africa is misunderstood. It's painted as being old man's job, hard labor, and that's the kind of attributes that are not attractive to young people trying to get into the workforce. We are breeding a generation of young people that want to get white-collar jobs, which are either doctors, engineers, accountants, and these are all the careers that are advertised to us when we want to get into universities. So because agriculture is not highlighted as much as being a doctor or being an engineer, it lacks the enthusiasm from the young people to get involved into. But we took a look into that in South Africa in terms of how else we can develop the agricultural sector by introducing young people into it. So we looked at things like introducing technology, which is something that's very attractive to young people. So if you attach technology to the agricultural sector, it can also benefit in terms of how to maximize productivity, how to get out the most out of the crops, how to eradicate waste, and all those things, and also try to introduce more young people to the agricultural sector.
Thank you very much, Dee. Becca, passion versus money. I don't know. What's passion versus money? A lot of us would say, so long as something gives me money, trust me, I will go for it. No one wants to suffer passion because at the end of the day, you don't really get the money quick. What do you have to talk about that in line with what you do?
4 years ago, you told me I would be where I am now. I would smile and say you're right. I started Nantongo, should be around 2 years ago. And against all odds, I've managed to come this far. Why? Because I love what I do. I broke even last year. By even, I mean, I got to start feeling like I'm into serious business last year. But for all this time, for all that time, because I don't roll with quitters. If you're out there and you feel like associating with me, but you're the type who starts something and then midway through you want to quit, then don't just come next to me because me, I don't roll with quitters. Josh knows my story. When he was starting the Hangout, he came to me and he told me, man, Beck, I want to start this. I was like, yeah, it sounds cool. He took me through the whole thing and we started this together. So, of course, other people kept on joining. But I was in Kampala at that time, and then he was here and then gave me a time to run both Kampala, Iganga, Ginger, and I talked to him and told him, you know what, Josh, I love this thing, but then I can't run this Kampala, Ginger, Iganga. So we came to an agreement. He let me go because I also had something that I really wanted to do as a person, passionate, because I love tourism. And then before I knew it, course opportunities started unfolding. And here we are now. When he told me, you know what, I've organized international youth day celebrations, and I want you to join, come talk to the youth about your story, I was delighted to be a part of this. But bottom line is, if you do something that you don't love, you call it stress. And trust me, you will never do it with all your heart and commitment. And my advice to you is, if you know you're into something that you don't love doing, but you feel you're doing it out of pressure, just let it slip out of your hands. Just let it go. Just leave it to those who you think can do it. Get into something that you feel you can do with all the love, with all the passion, with all the zeal. Because then at the end of the day, you know what, this is what I always wanted to do. If I told you I sleep at around 2 a.m., 2, 3, then I wake up at around 5:30 for prayers, and I don't go back to bed. I sleep because I know I'm employing myself. Doesn't matter what time I go to bed. You understand? But it's because I love what I'm doing, and I know I can wake up, do it anytime, anywhere. So I just want people to know that if you're doing something with passion,